Hello everyone and welcome. I'm the Black Shadow, and in this video we're having ourselves a sit-down interview with Asmodius, who is the now lead editor, effectively, for the tabletop simulator mod for Dune Imperium. It's a mod that we use extensively here on the channel, obviously with our various tournaments and other events, but I'm sure many of you guys listening have ended up using his board as well. One of the most well-scripted and put-together boards that we've had, although in itself has gone through quite the lifespan. Of course, the board is not Asmodius's. It was he made by Murphy's Law, who made his version of the board from the original one that was from the Discord community a way back. It's a bit of a long chain. It's gone through quite a few sets of hands over the course of time. We talk about that, obviously, the TTS board in this call. We also talk as well about Asmodius' background, being that he is a professional coder, and that this has been his job. Effectively, the tabletop simulator mod has been his job for the past couple of months or so, but also other bits and pieces as well. So I hope you guys enjoy the content. All right, then, so we are being joined by Asmodius. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon to you too.
So first of all, if you can, give us a bit of introduction as to who you are and your general background.
So I'm Asmodius. I'm maintaining the Dune Imperium Murphy's Law mod. For so far, it's been like 3 months already, 4 months, I guess. So yeah, I'm 44, and I played Dune Imperium since like 2020. At first, I played it with my real box. Yeah, maybe more with a box some friend bought. He bought the box like I guess 2021, and yeah, I heard there was a Dune Imperium board game made, and I was curious about it because yeah, I'm not a huge Dune the novel fan. In fact, I didn't read it at all, but I already knew a bit about the story because some people told me about it like a long time ago, like in the 90s. And like, yeah, at that time there was like you did not need to read the novels when there is some a huge fan of Lord of the Ring of Dunes. They were talking about you like, yeah, do you remember that time in the novel? And I was like, no, but now you tell me, yeah, I know it. So
Yeah,
and
I was gonna
since
say, like, trying to
yeah,
get in doing playing physically in 2021, that cannot have been an easy, given the world state at the time.
yeah, and also I really like yeah, the Dune universe because I played with the old version, like it was made like 1979, I guess. Yeah, and I had some yeah, some version edited by Descartes. It's a French editor in the 90s, and so I played it a lot. I had it in my shelf. Really interesting game, which yeah, really tense, and I like the how can I say, the feeling about big battle with intrigues, betrayal, things like that. Yeah, the game is really cool, but what I what made me sell this game, it's really a game that needs to have experienced player about it, and you need to play with experienced player with 6 players to make something balanced, and the game is like I don't know, 5 hour,
Yeah,
six
it's a
hour.
long time.
Yeah,
It's an awful long
so a
time.
long time. Yeah, so I was eager to play something with the same flavor, but shorter. And then I saw the board. Uh, yeah, I'm not really sure the how can I say, the artistic direction of the game was really stellar when I saw it first with the picture, but I guess it's fine, it's okay, and I played it and liked it. Really interesting about the mechanics of the game. Really interesting about merging of deck building and worker placements. But if you take each thing apart, it's really simple, not really deep in each of its aspects. But when you merge it, it's really cool. And on top of it, there was the intrigues, which really make me like the game because yeah, there was that feeling of Dune, like betrayal and twist. Just in the end, when you are like, yeah, it's okay, I won, and there was no. Take that, man. Take this intrigue, and you didn't win. So yeah, really, really fun, really short game, but at the same time, simple aspects merge into one game that make it deep and really replayable. So that's how I came across Dune Empire.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So something I talked about at the start of the video is that, but Asmodius here doesn't actually. You don't own the board as such. It's still owned by Murphy's Law, who was the original creator of the original version. But you kind of run it now, effectively, almost on his behalf, basically.
Not really. Uh, yeah, basically it's like that because I made a lot of modifications to the mod. But what I wanted to do is how did I come to work on this?
Mm.
Okay, so it was like I'm a freelance developer, and I was like I finished a mission like end of October, and it was just like at this precise moment, uh, Immortality was released. Not really released, let's say.
Yeah, it was in select circles. We'll go with that.
So it was in the pipes.
Yeah,
Okay,
that we'll
let's
go
say
with
let's say that.
that.
And so yeah, I was just finished working on my mission. I worked like 1 year on yeah, front end mission for developing software for Office. Okay, and it's paying well, but it's not something I'm really yeah, so sold on it. And yeah, it's for work. It's interesting. It's a mental job, but sometimes you want to work on something you really like, and so yeah. I just happened to come when Immortality was in the pipes, and there was still some, let's say, the prototype version with the decks,
Hmm.
low quality decks with just pictures taken. I don't know, from leaks, I guess. And I was like, yeah, okay, it's cool, Immortality. Yeah, I really want to play it, but with something with quality. And I asked to Murphy, since we play on French Discord for TTS. I was like, yeah, okay. Did you see Mortality was released? What do you intend to do? Do you intend to work on it? And he was like, not really answering at first. And I heard that he had some trouble. Apparently, he had some issue and had to go to the hospital. And yeah, was not in the mood to do something for Immortality yet. So I just proposed him to make it. And I started working on the Immortality port for the mod like that.
So, okay, so as myself and I'm sure a lot of people listening to this, like we don't obviously have a lot of knowledge of kind of how coding works and kind of how this works. Because my only knowledge is of like the occasional time you ask, can we host a lobby for 5 minutes to test something works, and that's about it. So how does this whole process work? Because there's like two boards, and I assume you've got obviously run stuff by Murphy. Like how does the process actually work for this?
It's the same mod, but let's say just to make something not too technical, it's TTS, it's a virtual 3D table. Okay. And so you can import some assets, some like pictures, things like that, on top of already pre-made objects like decks, tiles, boards, things like that. And after that, what you can do is when you imported some assets, you can just have a simple game which are just objects when you placed some assets on it. That's all, and it's fine. And you need to make everything yourself with the most printer. But yeah, it's such a hassle. So in fact, you want to make some things automatic. Okay. So what I did, I just took back the mod saved from the mod for Murphy. I started put some objects with the assets. I took uh, just looking for the name CGFM pictures because while I was working on on the mod, like maybe 1 week, 2 weeks after that, CGFM he comes back with, oh man, look, I got uh, a box I'm not
Yes.
supposed to
Yeah,
have.
he
Okay,
received it a little early.
yeah, so he
He
just
did take it
took
back, to be
pictures
fair.
of,
He did take it back.
yeah, what he kept it or did
No,
he?
I think he sent the box back 'cause he got like a month earlier. As like he queried with the shop. He was like, "Should I have this set?" And they're like, "No, you shouldn't. Can we have it back, please?" I was like, "All right, fine." I think that's
Okay,
how it works because he works in a game shop, I believe, at least at the time, and I think he got it from the same place, so he kind of took it back with him and was like, "I don't think I'm meant to have this yet." Apparently, it was not the only place. A few places had got copies sent out early. He was not the only one.
okay. So yeah, so we had the pictures. We are not supposed to have, but we had them, so it was better quality. Someone started already to make some, let's say, um it's a board of pictures for the cards. It's how you make that in TTS. You just put some pictures together. And it's like a board of cards, like it was a board of bills. Okay, together, and it's how you put them into a deck in TTS. So it was nice, but I reworked that a bit to make it better quality. So I used a GIMP for people who know that.
Mm.
It's a free tool for editing pictures. It's like Photoshop but free. So I made that, and after that, once I put the board together, so the Bennett Linux board, the decks, everything like that, I started working on scripts for making automatic things uh, for better quality of life for the mod. And yeah, it took a lot of time because we had to make things like extend the table, for example,
Mm.
move the objects. And so, since the objects are located on a virtual 3D table, there is positions. And in the scripts, it depends on how you code it, but a lot of times the positions are static. So you have to rework a lot of the scripts to take this into account. It takes a lot of time. Depends also of it's coded, but since Murphy was not a professional coder, he made that how he could. And since it was already cool, but I reworked the script with the position for everything first, and I in the same time, I reworked the architecture of the mod to make it, let's say, more streamlined for uh, easy maintenance. Let's say that.
Mm.
So that's what I did in the first. So simple scripts like first scripts I did that were simple, like the specimen, the +1, -1 specimen.
Mm-hmm.
Was something a lot akin to the +1 troop that you see already in the mod.
Yep.
So things like that. After that, we did the acquire for the Telaxu cards. So, in fact, I replicated a lot of things that were already known to the community for yeah consistent experience. And after that, I try to make things, new things. Let's say that. So, for example, I made um the acquire for Tlenexu, but with the cubes, automatic payment for the
Yes, with the
specimen.
reclaim forces, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, reclaim forces, things like that.
The board
And
has changed a lot, definitely, from what you got at Mercy. And be fair to Murphy, like what Murphy produced, again, given the fact that he doesn't have like a specific background, this sort of thing, I think that in itself is very, very impressive. Like, it would have been like me trying to make this board, and it would have been a complete catastrophe.
in fact, Murphy, I think the mod itself, he took it from the Discord community board.
Yes, yeah,
So,
I put that up the other day. It was weird to look at.
already, and it started with a save. I told him, yeah, there is this Discord. It's not this one, not the tabletop sim TTS club, but the Discord. It was Dune Imperium,
Hmm.
the Dune Imperium Discord, and yeah, in that Discord, he came there for looking for assets, things like that. He first started to work on a mod for a French version of the mod, based on the Discord community. And after that, there was X released, and I think it's a save from Agents of Zion he took
Hmm.
in the first place.
Yep.
Because I told him, hey, yeah, look at that. There is this cool Discord with Dune. It's in English, but Agents of Zion, he was sharing a file, TTS save, not directly a mod, which was just Rob, but it was like the first Immortality version. It was like a prototype.
Mm.
So we saw that, and yeah, I think he took the save and asked if he could work on it. And he started working on really a lot of quality of life scripts from that save. In fact, he just did a French version of the Discord community without quality of life.
And that's kind of where we're at
And
now with the board. There's a lot of, it's mainly quality of life changes. Now Immortality is pretty much fully integrated, especially compared to at the start, where it was literally, we'll load in a deck of cards and kind of make it work.
yeah, it works very well. No? And yeah, so the last things I did was things like the arrows for the
For the tracks.
research
Yes.
research tech tree,
Hmm.
the Bennett Ledax track too, and there is shipping buttons, but I did not make that because I had a lot of stuff to do. Because besides the immortality mode, what I did is a language system, which make it easier to produce different language of the mode. So actually, there is the English mode, there is the French mode, but in fact, there is like a big file with translated sentences for everything you see in the chat and for the buttons too. And so, what is interesting if someone comes and want to produce, let's say, a German version, he could. Just need to, yeah, get in touch with me, and I will show him how to do that. But it's really something akin to what you see in professional development. It's a streamlined system for when you need a different language version. The only difference is you get some assets to get for the decks of cards, things like that. So that's a little bit different, but mostly, yeah, something I already do for professional job.
Have you found
And
Tabletop Simulator sort of easy enough to use? Because I know I joke about it like in TTS Club at the moment, but I do joke about like obviously Tabletop Playground, which is kind of coming about, and some other games are starting to transfer to. I know one of the bigger communities, Twilight Imperium 4, for example, they're busy. They've already got a version of their board on like Tabletop Playground, which they're experimenting with, and like they prefer. Do you find Tabletop Simulator like? Does it make sense? Is it enough for you to use?
you mean as a user or as a developer?
As your for your coding and obviously like developing the board, like is it easy enough, or if you've got to make a change, if you've got to like go in and out and in and out, does it take forever?
Like always, it depends if you make the project from scratch or if you take something existing. And the Dune mod, it's something with a lot of history because, like I told you, the first thing was Discord community mod. After that, there was the modified version by Agent of Zion for X. After that, Murphy did some stuff. Yeah,
it's gone through a lot of sets of hands.
It's a big mess inside. It's a big messy side for when I started working on it. Yeah, honestly, and now it's more coherent. But there is still some files which are really bloated. Not a lot of them. But
now, what was it? I think you said you went through. You found there was like 40 random music tracks or something in the player or something, and no one knew about, or something like that. I think it was.
What? Yeah. There was some music files in
just randomly. I had no idea. I've been playing on this mod for like a year. I had no idea there was like 40 music tracks in the file. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but it was useless. It was like some vocal briefing for I don't know some strategic games.
Just stuff that had randomly found its way in there.
And I think someone started working from another mod with some vocals briefing in it, and it didn't looked after that. And I was like, there is some tools. It's fan-made tools. You can download when you develop on TTS, and it helps you get the files for the project, and also it gets you the assets for the project. And I just downloaded all the assets for the project, and after that I looked, what is this MP3? Well, there's MP3 in the board. What?
Yeah, exactly. It's bizarre.
And it was taking some place. So yeah, it was useless. And what I did too is rework the mod so it's easier to load for lower configurations too. That was really something I wanted to make so the most people can play it. And it's pretty fine, I guess, now. There was a problem too with, you remember, about the hidden peaks on slower machines.
Yes.
So yeah, there is some consideration like that to take into account.
But overall, you're really happy with how this has all come out.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty happy. Yeah. It was a bit difficult at times. At first, I worked alone on it. But after that, there was some demand for the tournament with the tournament mod and the how can I say, the overlay for the scores.
Yes.
So yeah, its part it was it's not really complicated in it, but it's TTS. It's not really made for working with multiple people on the same projects. So yeah, I had to combine with pipeline. We use that word for developing, but you make some tools so people can work on several parts of the code without conflicts. And I made a pipeline for that. And there is a GitHub for the project now. I don't know if you know the GitHub, but it's like a repository for the code, the code files for the projects. Because if there is someone who makes something really breaking for the project, you can rewind in time the project and
Yeah.
say, okay, we don't know why it doesn't work,
Back
but
up
at
your
least
files, everyone. Back up your
we
files.
can go back. We can go back. So yeah, I had to make that to work with green building, and yeah, it was pretty fine at the end. And after that, Murphy came back, let's say beginning of January, and he wanted to do some things too, and I was like, yeah, but it's it's quicker if I work alone. But yeah, he wanted to help, so I let him do things, but I tried to introduce him to his tools for the pipeline. It's a bit complicated to teach that for people who don't code. So Murphy is not a coder, but Greenberling is, so it was easy for introducing him to that,
Yes.
but not Murphy.
And for those watching, Grim is basically the guy who's kind of behind a lot of the scripting we've used for the tournament, as well as there was the ranked ELO system. He was behind a lot of that stuff. So it's all in all, like, a lot of this board has been a big community project with, several people kind of giving their little bits of knowledge and bits of code and whatever else, and kind of amalgamating it to what we have nowadays.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it was mostly the most challenging part. It's like make something to manage several people working on the project. That was something, the most challenging thing I think in the project. And after that, yeah, it was pretty cool. And yeah, also a lot of, let's say, demands for the project, because yeah, we have how can I say, a roadmap. Yeah, it's not really a true roadmap, but I wrote somewhere, okay, here's the list of things I want to do, and the order in which I want to do them. So when I know the enthusiasm of people is good, because they are like, oh, it's cool, but can you make that too, and can you make this? And after that, you have to prioritize what you need to do, because you cannot answer all the demands. And sometimes the demands are, yeah, it's from a user experience, it won't be so good as people thinks it will be.
Yeah, it sounds good, but in practice, okay, it doesn't work, sort of thing.
Yeah, so yeah, I had some demands like that, and I had to manage the flow of demands to say basically no, but trying to say it
As
nicely.
politely as possible. Yes, I know the feeling
Yeah,
all
yeah.
too well.
But yeah, we're saying, okay, it seems cool, but really, I'm not sure I got the time, but maybe after that I will.
Yeah.
And there is some demands I'm considering actually for the month. So I will talk about that just after.
So something I want to ask about quickly, Zal, just briefly. Like, obviously, you mentioned like you do coding like, as a profession. That's what you do. Like, how long have you actually been doing that sort of thing?
Um, I'm coding professionally since 2050, 2050 or 2020. Yeah.
That's a fair long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, like almost 10 years, yeah.
And
And I also coded like I began to code in 1998. Yeah, true. I begin for when I was in my school. Okay, and I began to work professionally to coding like in 2001 too. But after that, I had to change. Yeah, I couldn't work in that domain anymore. So I I made a long period where I was working as a commercial. So yeah, and after that, I wanted to work again on code, and I came back in 2015, yeah,
And that's
things like
just
that.
something you've just always found interesting, just all the technical stuff, that sort of thing.
Yeah, totally. It's first, it's it's a job that pays well. Honestly,
I mean, this is
it's a
also true. I mean, I'm not gonna
it's a
lie.
consideration. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, it helps. Definitely helps.
I had jobs that paid yeah a lot less, and yeah, I was in a period of my life when I wanted to change my job,
Mm.
and I've seen some concealer and to study what I could do. They were like, "Oh yeah, what do you think about being a developer?" I was like, "Yeah, I did that already.
Mm.
Wasn't really successful because I had to stop. Was yeah, there was it was complicated time when I had to stop. Wasn't keen to go back there because I was like, yeah, I stopped that. Why would I go back
Yeah,
to
of
that?
course.
So, but yeah, after that, was wondering about it, and I made some school for 6 months again to code, and yeah, so I'm coding since yeah, like I told you, almost 10 years again. So it's cool. It pays well, and now I'm a freelance, so I can stop working for some periods if I want.
Yeah, which is
Actually,
awesome.
it's been
Absolutely awesome.
yeah, it's been 3 months. I didn't quote work because the Dune mode was pretty much work, honestly,
Yeah,
at
sorry about
times.
that.
No, no, no problem. I really did it because it was really, yeah, motivating. I wanted to do this because it's, yeah, I was working on something I like. So it's not so much work when you do that.
Yeah, and the amount of people. I mean, you see it just like amongst all the games. That's just even in our section. Like, there's. I just to think how many times this gets used like a week for games. It's probably a
Yeah.
ridiculous amount. And it
Yeah.
shows like everything. It's so well put together. Everything flows wonderfully well. Yeah, you can definitely tell a lot of time and effort's gone into it, and that's great. And I honestly reckon this is probably one of the better mods probably going on TTS at this point.
It's not the Dune mode with the most subscriber. I have some score about that.
Don't worry, we'll get you there. We'll get you there.
Yeah, but I think it's like some people just went and subscribe to some mod that they don't play anymore, I guess.
I mean, with all these doing these all these tournaments and events that are starting to go on, don't worry, you'll get there. We'll help you. So help us
Yeah.
God.
And so, yeah, the consideration about the mod tools, because like told you, TTS isn't really made for working with multiple people on a mod. So the problem too is um, I wanted people to not have to switch to another mod. So
Mm. So
basically, I asked to Murphy, yeah, I want to make it, but are you able to update the mod if I give you the project when I need to update the project?
mm,
Because yeah, for developers here hearing us, yeah, the problem is they know that. But problem is, yeah, there is a mod on TTS. There is something that is called it's contributor. Yeah, you can be a contributor on mod. It's something you will see on the Dune Imperium mod. You will see me as a contributor. There is it's written made by Murphy and Alazred. But the problem is the only person who can update the mod, it's Murphy.
so
I'm a
basically,
coach.
when Paul Dillon announces Dune Imperium Second Edition, then you can do what you want, right? It's
So it's a really a problem because you are like, okay, I want to work on the mod, I want to update it, but is the original author of the mod still here? Because if he's not, then you had to make a new mod.
mm,
And so you had to tell people, okay, yeah, I'm sorry, but can you, how can I say, switch back to the new mod? And so, yeah, so hard to tell that to people because they're like, yeah, okay, well, is it really required? Why do I need to do that? Yeah, if the person who is the original author is not here,
mm,
I cannot make anything. So that's a problem when people are missing in action, let's say, or worse.
mm,
But it happens, sadly.
sadly.
Sadly, you see, one of the founding people of the community, it happened to him.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And yeah, that's really a consideration because I didn't want to bother the community saying, yeah, okay, I'm the new mentor of the mod, but you need to change back to my mod, please.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I really did things to make this easy on the community. And so I did beta mod, as you know,
Hmm.
for testing purpose. And when I was like, okay, this new feature, it's okay, it's robust. I was giving the save to Murphy so we can update to the public mod, which is the mod he can update himself only.
Mm.
But that was, let's say, order a bit. Yeah.
So, just in wrapping up here. So, what exactly is next for the mod then? I know you obviously you've talked about like with translating. Obviously, I know there's a French version. We've talked about that potential, maybe even somewhere down the line if people want to like delve into their own kind of language variants of the board that could be organized. But is it kind of a case now, just a lot of under the hood work until we find out what Direwolf is doing next with the game?
Actually, I didn't make any new stuff for the mod because I'm pretty happy where it stands, actually. There is some, yeah, let's say demands. It's not really like that, but like a suggestion about things to make some quality of life change.
Mm.
I'm considering because it will be fast and it makes sense. Like the plus one troop, plus one specimen things. I think I will put it on the X board too
Hmm.
for the negotiators.
Yes, I get asked about that all the time. And I'm like, it
Yeah,
isn't there, kids. You just to work it out.
yeah, it's less critical than specimen and troops because let's say you handle the negotiator a lot less than specimens or
Mm.
troops. So, but you still have to manage it, and it's a bit of a hassle. So, since the concept for this feature is already present in the code, it's pretty easy to replicate. So, I will do that. Also, when I will do that, I will release with this version the new FAQ because there is a new FAQ.
Yes, which we only
Probably.
realised it's been out for about 2.5 months, and we only realised it existed about a week ago of recording this. Everyone missed it. I've no idea how. I completely missed it. Everyone did. It was bizarre. So
Yeah, totally. And what I will do also is the variant because yeah, it's pretty much used by everyone. The variant when you need to go to 11. If you're three players, you start from 0 and go to 11.
mhm.
But when you fourth, they tell you, yeah, go to 11 or start from 0 and go to 10.
Yes,
Visually, it's better, yeah. And yeah, we'll make some, let's say, checkbox that only appears when you have checked Immortality and X, because this is a variant for only if you play with those two expansions. And if you check it, you will have the 4P tokens removed automatically, because it's not a lot to manage for players, but it's nice to have.
Yeah, exactly. And the majority of the games, at least in our community, especially with Immortality, like the 4 players, we do remove the 10 player token. We just find it's a better way to play the game. But of course, ultimately, it's not an official rule. So
Yeah. And after that, I'm pretty much done, because the mod, you can improve the mod with a lot of things. People propose me things that are pretty crazy, not crazy in the bad sense, but crazy like, yeah, man, it's serious stuff.
yeah,
And it would be nice, but honestly, the mod would begin to be like my full-time job. So I cannot do that because, yeah, like I told you, it's been already 3 months and a half.
yeah.
I've stopped working. Yeah, I need to go back to real work, real world,
Dear.
and make some real money.
Yeah, but I mean, we
And
are all, as I said, we're all crazy thankful for the time that you've put in. Obviously, Murphy as well. We don't want to cast or something like that, but
yeah,
we're hugely
he's
appreciative.
working too. He's working too. He's not a developer, and it's, honestly, he did some pretty good stuff. Even if I'm, yeah, he's like my Padawan, and I'm his Jedi Master, and I'm like, yeah, you did not go well with that. Please redo the stuff. And he's like, yeah, no, I don't want. Yeah, I'm like trying to teach him some professional stuff, let's say.
Yeah.
But I know I cannot be, yeah, cannot demand him so much, since I was working with some colleague, and yeah, asking some pro stuff. So
No, that's awesome, man.
it's already pretty nice what he did.
No, that's awesome. Asmund, thank you very much for your time. It's hugely appreciated. And again, as I say, thanks from everyone from the community for obviously the time that you've put in with the board. And I guess we'll kind of wait and see what Paul Den decides to do with the game next. He decides to do more expansion work, or God forbid he does do a second edition, in which case you could be a very busy man.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not sure they will do a second edition yet.
If they do, I'll
Uh,
tell Direwolf to send you a check because you'll
yeah.
need it.
Did you heard some rumor about some expansion
No,
or
no. I
stuff?
mean, there's a lot of speculation, of course, with Immortality out, and like wondering what you could do next because the game's already pretty busy at the moment. You know, with Immortality, with X, like apart from throwing in some extra leaders, it's like how can you really expand the game itself more without making it kind of feel very bloated, which it's already
I don't
potentially
know.
quite
I
so.
got some people that told me, yeah, look at the Scouts of Hurricane on there is an application, on mobile
Mm.
or Steam.
Oh yes,
You can,
the mobile app stuff. Yeah, I that sort of thing. But we'll see. So
apparently, they told me, yeah, there is a rumor that people inside of Direwolf will do some stuff they already used in Scoot of Arakin. Well, I was like, yeah, we'll see, because I'm not sure. It's a rumor, so
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. It's all it is. So I'm sure Paul will let us all know what's going on at some point very soon.
And we got already stuff to play with, even if I know people already played that since November. And so
Mm.
it seems it's already been a long time.
Yeah, tell me about it. Tell
Let's face it, it's on the game only been the Immortality game only been released just now.
Mm.
I'm in France, and the box for the French version is not yet released. There is the Cannes festival for games. I don't know if you heard about that.
I'm aware of it.
And so, yeah, the French editor is maybe, I guess, there will be some books, some pre-buy stuff, something like that on the festival, I guess. But like, every time you are like, you come, oh, do you have some box? Oh no, it's finished, man. Go away. Go
Go
back home.
away. And on that bombshell, it's done, man. Well, thank you much for your time, man. It's hugely appreciated. And yeah, we'll definitely see you around amongst the community, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. See you around.
As that is everything for this call. Thank you guys for listening. We do hope to do more of these as we go along and introducing more sort of the notable members of the community that have helped to establish us and kind of get us to where we are. So hopefully more of these in the future. Take care of yourselves, everyone. We'll see you soon.